Hardly a day goes by when you don't hear a word or a phrase from Shakespeare. Why? We have someone with us who's going to tell us about it, so stay tuned for a great program.
TCT presents Public Report, a look at the issues and events of importance to our viewing area. Now, here's your host.
Welcome to Public Report. My name's Larry Patton, and we have a great guest with us today. His name is Pedro Silva, and he is the managing director for the North Carolina Shakespeare Festival. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Larry. It's good to be with you.
Yeah. You know, I told you before the show that a lot of us, I said most of us, but then I changed it because it's probably not true. But a lot of us read Shakespeare in high school or college, and then we kind of got away from it and didn't go back. But as I said in the first part, and I want you to tell me how true that is, you hear it everywhere. It's one of the most quoted works of literature.
Oh, yes. I think you're right. And I think it's probably true to say that he has had a tremendous impact on the English language that has continued not only from his day, but for literally centuries, all the way up to today. And you might want to check this at some point if you're in the mind to do that. But I venture to say that not a single day goes by that you or that I or that our listeners don't encounter a word or words of Shakespeare's coining. Either they speak it themselves or they hear it being spoken. They may well read about it. But he is pervasive in terms of his impact on our language, the day-to-day language.
Yeah. Well, I had, to finish my comment there, I was in Indiana, and I saw the complete works of Shakespeare available. And I thought, I'm going to read them, I'm going to buy it, and go back and read them. So I bought them, and now I'm in the process of reading them.
It's a great challenge, and I don't envy you that challenge, you know. But I was just thinking when we were talking about things like, you know, when people say, you know, boy, he's in a pickle. We talk about green-eyed jealousy. These are just a few examples. Our salad days. We say someone's been hoodwinked. You know, Shakespeare was a maker of plays, but he was a special maker of plays, and that is he used poetry. So he kind of banged out the English language as he knew it in his time to fit the particular needs that he had as a poet. You know, and you know that the essence of poetry is wordsmithing, manipulating words, and he was a great master of that.
And obviously servicing our needs today as well, if we're using them so often, and obviously we are. 1977, North Carolina Shakespeare Festival was founded. And for what purpose? What is it you want to do and hope to do?
Well, the founders of the Shakespeare Festival had a real simple idea in mind, and that was the Triad region, and certainly our state of North Carolina, deserved opportunities to see great plays performed by professional actors just as much as any other region of America, whether it's New York, Atlanta, D.C., etc., doesn't make any difference. And it was that impulse specifically that led them to create a professional theater company. And in homage and recognition to the extraordinary impact Shakespeare has on us culturally and artistically even today, they dedicated it to Shakespeare in name. And of course, he's also the priority play that we produce.
Well, I notice with many of the actors for theater, or movies and television, one of the things that they all want to include and have on their resume is that they did Shakespeare somewhere.
Well, I think that's true. And I don't want to incur the ire of any of our viewers, but I think it's very often said in our business of theater that if you can handle Shakespeare well, the odds are great that you can handle just about any other kind of play.
That's interesting.
And certainly film and television as well, because he's so challenging, he's so demanding. And I think that there's a lot of truth in that.
So would you say that not only are you providing an opportunity for people to experience what they might experience in New York or Atlanta or at other places, also providing actors with the opportunity of performing?
Absolutely. As you well know, the actor's life hasn't changed very much from when they were performing in Shakespeare's day.
Right.
It's still a very challenging way to make a living, and actors relish opportunities to work, which are few and far between, certainly in our country. So we're a real blessing, I think, to a lot of the actors who live in the region of the state, in the state itself, and even outside of North Carolina.
So do the majority of your actors come from within the region?
I would say that that changes from production to production as the needs of the shows we produce change. But I would say on average a good third to as much as, again, depending on the show, a half of our actors hail from North Carolina.
Yeah, so they have a great opportunity.
Oh, yes.
Right here.
Oh, yes.
NCSF doesn't just have the theater production of Shakespeare. They have an ongoing program all year long. Programs.
Yes, we do. And that's been our intention from the very beginning, to be a really vibrant resource culturally, educationally, and certainly artistically for the wonderful people who make up the Greater Triad and, of course, the state. Yes, for example, from January through the middle to end of April every year, and we've been doing this for 25 years, we're on the road with a show called Globeworks that visits middle schools, high schools, sometimes community colleges, libraries, and we go into these locations and we do a 50-minute collage, really, of wonderful scenes from Shakespeare's plays. And these are great opportunities for students to first meet Shakespeare, for teachers to use Shakespeare in our production as a visual aid. We're really dedicated to being as much of an educational resource as an artistic and entertainment resource.
We know in Christian literature, John Milton, Paradise Lost, C.S. Lewis, in his works are outstanding works that have survived the test of time. And it appears that Shakespeare's works has kind of leveled in there in passing the same test.
I think that's very true, and the extraordinary thing is that beyond the obvious Christian dimension, particularly of Milton and C.S. Lewis, you're dealing with the sheer power and impact of quality and universality, you see? And I think that's particularly true of William Shakespeare. Somehow, like Milton, in particular, he's able to find a core of our humanity that is unchanging. And that's why I think he continues to be actually produced more today than perhaps at any other time in history.
That's amazing.
And that is kind of an amazing fact, isn't it? But he is produced extremely often, not only in North Carolina, but throughout this country.
Main Stage and On Tour are part of the programs that are ongoing.
Yes, yes.
What are they and what do they do?
Well, On Tour is a program where we take the shows that we've just finished at the High Point Theater, and for the time being, we're taking them to Raleigh. As a matter of fact, just last week, we spent a full week in the Raleigh area playing Romeo and Juliet and The Taming of the Shrew to triangle audiences. And we feel very strongly about this. We think that the festival has got to reach out beyond the triad and be as much of a benefit to as broad a North Carolina audience as possible. And for example, next year, God willing, and I believe he is, we'll not only be going back to Raleigh, but we're hoping to introduce a week of residency in Charlotte as well. So we're really excited about the festival's future to reach out broadly into North Carolina.
Yeah, that would have to be very exciting.
Yes.
What is Main Stage?
Well, the Main Stage is the work that we do on the High Point Theater. We call that the Main Stage. That's a very large stage. If you've ever been to the High Point Theater, it continues to be, even as a 30-year-old theater facility, one of the finest and one of the loveliest performing venues in all of North Carolina. It has a large, expansive stage. We can do the scale of work that Shakespeare requires on a stage like that. It accommodates well over 600 people. So that's what we mean by main stage. Yes.
You have Nancy Lyle's program,
Right,
which is,
right. It's called the Classics in Context.
Right.
And we've named them after a wonderful friend of the festival who passed away recently, Nancy Lyles. She was very involved in the cultural and artistic life, not only of the Triad, but the state. And the Classics in Context seminars give you, for example, an opportunity on a Saturday afternoon when we're performing on the main stage to come and spend a couple of hours with a very vibrant scholar to hear about the world of the play that you will be seeing later on that evening. We've been doing the Classics in Context for well over 20 years, and they continue to be very popular for that theater or that audience member who wants to just make sure that they can get even a little bit more enjoyment out of the evening's work.
that's a great idea.
Yes.
That's Tiny Tim Project. What's that
Well,
all
the
about?
Tiny Tim Project has also been a program we've been doing for many years. It relates principally to our annual production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. This year will be our 29th year doing A Christmas Carol. And the Tiny Tim Project makes it possible for us to provide free tickets to A Christmas Carol to students and youth groups that work with those students that come from backgrounds that are a bit underprivileged and stressed. And we're very proud of that because we have every year, I would say between 200 and 300 kids who are able to come and enjoy Charles Dickens' wonderful story at absolutely no cost.
Oh, and it's great.
Yes,
It's
thank
great.
you.
I want to give our viewers, I want to give you an opportunity to contact the North Carolina Shakespeare Festival people and get as much information as you can and get involved. Their phone number is 336-841-2273. That's 336-841-2273. You can also go to the website, and it's simply www.ncsshakes.org.
Right.
Have I got that right?
You've got it.
And I hope they get in touch with you.
I do too.
Very exciting stuff.
Thank you.
What's happening now? What's on the horizon in 1 minute?
Well, we are getting ready for auditions for A Christmas Carol, and we will be opening A Christmas Carol on December 3rd at the High Point Theater, and we'll be presenting it in the Triad through the 23rd of December. So that's going to be a very busy, but also very exciting time for us because we all love to do Christmas Carol.
And if we go to that website, can we get tickets there?
You can get information for tickets, and the tickets are being sold through the High Point Theater.
Okay, great. Sounds like a good place to take my grandsons.
I think so.
Okay. Hey, thank you for coming by and
Thank you,
sharing with
Larry.
us. A lot of great and interesting stuff going on with your organization, and we welcome you back anytime.
Thanks.
And we thank you for watching, and we encourage you to stay tuned, and we have another exciting guest for you here on Public Report. Thank you.
When I'm under, I don't breathe. I'm weightless. My heart races. I'm floating away. And when it's over, all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. By spending time coaching, he helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Welcome back. We are fortunate today. We have the Guilford County Teacher of the Year, Sean Watlington. Thank you for coming,
Thank you for having me.
and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's quite an honor.
It is. It's a great honor.
Yeah. Did you think that would ever happen?
I really didn't. I work with such great people in Guilford County. It's really a wonderful opportunity, and it's really just a blessing to be able to be rewarded for the hard work that we do as teachers. So it is just a wonderful experience thus far.
Well, we salute you.
Thank you.
Now, as Teacher of the Year, you are from a school that I didn't even know about until I talked to you.
Yes.
Well, I knew about it years ago, and I'll explain that to you sometime. It's actually a middle college school.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what middle college? That, you know, if I were going to interpret that according to my understanding, that would be sophomore or junior.
Yes. Well, actually, we are a school of 100 high school students that are juniors and seniors, and it's a part of the Guilford County School Board and the superintendent's vision for providing high school options in Guilford County. And so part of the middle college name means that we are exposing high school students to the college campus.
Oh,
so
okay.
middle meaning between high school and college.
Okay.
So
Not between freshmen and seniors.
no, no, sir.
Okay.
So it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. We have 6 middle colleges in Guilford County, and we're one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I told you earlier, my oldest daughter went to high school and college at the same time in her senior year of high school
Okay.
back in Tallahassee years ago. And I really had never heard of it from that time till now, until I met you.
Yeah. Well,
Good concept.
it is, and it's something that our superintendent and school board has really pushed in Guilford County to make significant improvements and to give a home to those students who don't necessarily fit into a traditional high school or found success there. And it's also a part of the larger movement to reform high schools under Governor Easley's plan, the New Schools Project. We are on a college campus, and there's supposed to be 3 things that happen that really make the difference for students.
And they are?
The first one is that we provide rigor. So at Greensboro Middle College, our students have exposure to honors classes. So all of our high school classes are honors.
Yeah.
They also get what's called dual credit. So they can take not only high school classes, but they also take college classes. And those classes, they can earn both high school and college credit.
Wow.
So they can leave their senior year with possibly with 1 year of college under their belt. And part of that concept is not just getting them credit, but exposing students very early to the college campus. So they have access to the resources there, they have access to the professors that are there. And what we found is that for many students who haven't found success previously, feeling like a college student makes all the difference.
Oh, all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And it's got to be an accelerated process for them in that they can log up those college credits.
Yes, and it's wonderful. It has really made a difference. We have students who are many times behind in their high school credits, and so this gives them an opportunity to not only catch up in their high school career, but to move forward faster. And many of the students that we have didn't feel good about school and learning, and so by feeling like they can catch up and they can be where everyone else is, has made all the difference.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very big issue.
Yeah.
Now I know a little bit about your college career.
Yes.
Did you have that kind of opportunity when you were in high school?
Actually, I did. I went to the North Carolina School of the Arts in Winston-Salem. I auditioned for that, and it was a piano and dance student. And so I was one of 200 students that was on a college campus. And that's one of the reasons why I went into teaching, because I knew that having those kinds of experiences at the high school level can make a difference. It made a difference for me, and so I wanted to be a part of the process in which I could make a difference, and we all could make a difference for other young people.
Now you know that answer stirred up another question.
Okay.
And that question was piano and dance a part of your competition?
No, unfortunately, but you know, it made me a very creative person.
There you go.
So when I'm in the classroom, you know, I do, you know, all the creative things it takes to make a difference with young people. So
I'm
no,
sorry.
I didn't go into
I had
that.
to ask that question. You are an alumni of North Carolina A&T and
I
Ohio
am, yes.
State.
Yes, I am, yes. Two, you know, as
Great colleges.
both, and I think at both I really had great teachers who were really really took the time to identify in me and other students our unique interests and talents. They were rigorous, they loved their subjects, and those things just
Very
made
fortunate.
the difference. And so I wanted to replicate that for young people. So, you know, I wanted to take, you know, the blessings that I received and to give it to other young people.
And I would say that the honor you have been given makes it obvious that you've done just that.
Well, I've certainly tried, yes, yes.
Now, as Teacher of the Year, you are, what, an ambassador? What do you?
Well, yes, it's, I mean, and let me say that the process in Guilford County has been wonderful, and I was one of several wonderful and well-qualified finalists in Guilford County.
I'm sure.
And in being selected as Teacher of the Year, I do represent over 4,500 excellent teachers, classroom
Wow.
teachers in Guilford County. And so as part of my mission, I want to represent excellence in the classroom and represent them as an ambassador. and also to promote the good things that we do in the classroom that really affect student performance.
Does it give you the opportunity to become involved in the educational process at a higher level than simply teaching in the classroom?
Well, I think, yes, it does. And I've had many opportunities thus far in order to share what a difference teachers can make in the classroom. In being chosen as Guilford County Teacher of the Year, the next step would be that I would go to the regional level and compete for the Central Piedmont region. If chosen as two of the finalists in that region as a regional Teacher of the Year, then I will go on to the state. My understanding is that on the state level, I would serve on the state Board of Education, and that I would also visit other classrooms and schools throughout the state in order to promote public education in general and teaching in the classroom.
Oh yeah, so you have a very busy future ahead of you.
Well, yes. Well, I care about public education. I care about public support of education. I think it's essential. I also think that teachers, part of my educational philosophy is that teachers make the difference, that the daily decisions that we make in the classroom every day make the difference for young people. And so I am very proud and honored in order to represent the teaching
You
profession.
accept the responsibility of being an on-the-job teacher.
I certainly do, and I love the classroom and wouldn't want to be any other place.
Certification, I'm assuming that the honor that you have been given
Yes.
is given to certified teachers,
That is correct.
and all of the participants had to be certified.
Yes, and of course the state of North Carolina requires that that teachers hold a teaching license, and so that is the basic level of commitment that teachers must have. And so yes, I was required along with the other finalists to be certified. And then after that, I'm also nationally board certified, which is on the national level. There are standards that teachers can meet. And then, of course, just trying to make a difference in the classroom. So me, along with the other finalists in Guilford County, and all of the teachers in Guilford County who are identified by their individual school, have met and exceeded the state requirements for certification.
A lot of smiling. You do a lot of
Yes.
smiling.
Yes.
And I gather from that this whole process is a good feeling.
It is a great feeling, and because I care about my students, and because I am so honored to represent the teachers in Guilford County, it is just a wonderful process and a great opportunity. We've made significant strides in Guilford County for students academically and otherwise, and so it's wonderful at this time and at this place to represent that.
Now, when you find out that you're Teacher of the Year, where are you? Are you at a dinner meeting? Are you at a conference? Are you at home?
Well,
Do you get notified by mail? Do they send you? How do you find out?
well, gosh, it feels like it's been so exciting these last couple of weeks. It feels like I found out about every day about this. But officially, the Teacher of the Year is named along with the High School Teacher of the Year, Middle College Teacher of the Year, and Elementary Teacher of the Year at a banquet that is sponsored
Okay.
by SunTrust Bank.
Well,
And
you don't read the newspaper to find
I
out.
don't read the newspaper and find out, so we get a chance to intermingle with other teachers of the years from the various schools, and then they ask us to come forward, and they name the Teacher of the Year along with all the other semifinalists.
Hope somebody got that on video.
They did get it on video,
The
and
reaction had to be phenomenal.
it was amazing. It really was. I was just pleased by the whole process. It was wonderful.
Now, this is communicated, of course, then to your students,
Well,
and
yes.
they carry you pretty high.
They were so excited, and if they would have been able to come to the banquet, I'm sure they would have. In fact, some of them actually asked me to come. So, but the celebrating continued the next day, and really for me, it was less about me and more about them.
Yeah.
So the next day, the students were elated and excited for me, and it was such a wonderful day.
Well, your enthusiasm about education and teaching is infectious. You catch it right here and realize that you're very excited about it.
I am very excited.
If you'd like to get a hold of the Guilford County School Department, let me give you a phone number and a website, and that way you can do that. 336-370-8300. You can call there, get more information about Teacher of the Year, how it's done, and whatever information you're seeking. www.gcsnc.com is a website that you can go to and get more information about the Guilford County school system of North Carolina. So let me encourage you to access those and get that information. What's on the horizon?
Well, now I just love going in and teaching the classroom, so I am interested in going in that classroom every day and trying to make a difference in the lives of students. I'm hoping to be able to represent Guilford County at the regional level and the state level, and I'll certainly do my best to do so.
So now you're teaching juniors and seniors,
Yes, this is,
and you're teaching history,
yes,
one of my favorite subjects.
wow, yes.
Yeah, I love history.
Yes, I have the pleasure of teaching history, which I think really makes a difference. You can really find relevance, which is
Oh, yes.
one of the key components of the middle college concept is that we find ways to connect with students and their interests, and so history, you know, is wide open for doing that. So it's just wonderful to be able to teach in that particular subject.
What grade were you in when history became your passion and that was the direction you wanted to go?
Well, actually, I was in college. As an undergraduate in college, we had professors. I was a history major, and I had professors in the political science department and the history department who, you know, identified the talents that they saw in me and my peers, and so we were able to do such things as the Model United Nations. We actually traveled outside of the country, just a lot of wonderful experiences that really developed a love of history. And really history is about people. It's about how we interact and how
Right,
we grow
exactly,
and move forward.
exactly.
And so it's a wonderful subject to teach in order to reach students.
And kind of prophetic about what we might do in the future.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting talking to you.
Well, thank
and
you.
congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
We've been talking to Guilford County Middle College teacher Sean Watlington, Teacher of the Year. And if you'd like to get more information about Teacher of the Year and the program and information about Sean, let me encourage you to contact Guilford County Schools at 336-370-8300 or www.gcsnc.com.
This has been Public Report. Public Report discusses the issues of interest and importance to our viewing area. Please remember that the views expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of TCT or the station.